This video is going to cover the capital letters Q, R, S, T, and U in faux calligraphy in 3 styles. So as always, we're marking our baseline and header line. This is where your lowercase letters would fit in the X height, and then 1 extra space for our ascender. First is the letter Q, and the 3 variations of the letter Q are going to be pretty much the same as the O that we made, with the addition of our little crossbar. So just like the O, we have our curve on the inside, and then we'll add some thickness to this downstroke. So I like to make mine triangular shape. You can either make it triangular this way, or you can add the thickness at the bottom and come back up this way. You could make it a rectangle too, that's up to you. This next version is going to be just like the second version of the O, where we're going to start with that same curve shape and then come up above. So this piece right here, we're starting a little bit below the ascender, and then when we get to this point, we're going to go a little above and then come back here. Then I'm stopping right here so I can come back in and add my shade. You can either draw a line out like this and then come back around, or just make it come to a point at the top. Add your curved shade and then follow through with this line. And then just to change it up from this one, we'll make this line wavy, like that. Now here, if I add my shade, you're going to be able to see this part of the larger curve through the crossbar. So you would have to do some planning ahead if you want to leave that gap open. Maybe you would just draw up to here and then place this line, add your shade, then continue through. Once again, the third Q is just like the third O. Starting at the top, coming down with a curved shape, and then spiraling back inward right here. To finish off this main shape, we're going to bring this part back around and through. So this is just one large oval shape that you could start here, come up, around, and back through. But I like to do it in 2 separate motions just because it's kind of hard to keep track of all these curves. Then we're also going to have a curved crossbar. Add our main shade on this curve, and then a little bit of a shade on this downstroke. And of course on the crossbar. Next is the letter R, and the 3 styles of R are going to be very similar to the 3 styles of P, because those letters are closely related. So we'll start this one with our long rectangular stem shape. And then here we're just going to simply make, starting off kind of like an overturn and then looping back in. You can also think of this as like a backwards oval. And then for the part that comes down, you can choose how you want to make this. For this version, I'm just going to make it a straight line. The other 2, I'll show you how to make it curvy. You can start it here and come down, or you can start it a little farther out and come down. So we'll add our shade on the curve and then also on this line. Lastly, add our entry element on the left. This next style, we're going to start the stem a little bit below the first ascender line, so that we can make the loop of our P extend above that line and then leave a little gap. So I'm going to start on the left-hand side, and this is again going to end up being like an oval shape. Starting here, coming up and around, and then through. This will end up having a shade. So right now, at this point, it's just the same as the P, but we'll add our curved line at the bottom, and you can turn this part into a little loop if you want, and then come down. So I'm just going to add a line that mimics the curve of that line. The last R starts the same way as the last P, with our long capital stem elongated S shape, and then of course our parallel line follows the curve of this line, so it curves and starts at a taper at the top and then swells and then tapers back at the bottom. Similar to this shape, except we're going to start and spiral around and then come up and over. And then back to the stem. And then to finish it, we're going to make a compound curve shape, the second half of a compound curve. So we learned this shape in the lowercase letters, where you start to make a compound curve. It would be as if you were starting here, coming up, down, up. This is a compound curve shape, where we're just making the second half of it. So we have a small shade here and on this curve, and then the downstroke of the compound curve as well. The letter S is one of the hardest letters to write in faux calligraphy because there are so many curves, and there's different ways you can do it. So the first one, we'll just start by making a basic tall S shape, and then here we'll just add a shade along this part of it. So we were going down on this whole section, so I'm going to start here, match the curve, and then end at the bottom. Another way you can do it is exaggerating the left and the right curves. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So here we're gonna come down on this part, then over, then down and back up. Okay, so this is kind of looking a little boxy, but basically instead of making the main downstroke be along this part of the S, I'm giving it a downstroke here and then making this more horizontal and then giving this one more of a downward slant. So in this case, we were coming up and then this was a downstroke, so you can add your curve here and then on this downstroke as well. Now for this version, sometimes I also like to add a little bit right here just for some overall balance of the letter. Okay, this last version is going to be a little fancier, and this one is hard to plan out so that you are leaving your gaps. I'm going to show you how to do it, but if you need to make this all in one stroke, that's okay too. So we're going to start by curving upward, then we're going to lift. So this is just like kind of like the opposite of an entrance stroke for the lowercase letters. Leave a gap, so this is where our shading is going to end up looking like this one. Then start back here and we're going to loop around and down to make our S shape. Loop through, stop right there. This is where we'll add our shade and then continue upward. Okay, so that was a lot in one stroke. So if you are having trouble with this, like even this doesn't look that proportionate. I think this loop right now is bigger than this one and they should be a little closer in size. So you could make this all in one motion by coming up and around, then making your S shape and then coming back through. So just for the sake of demonstration, I'll show you how to do that. So you can think of it as coming up. So this is basically like an S curve almost. Then at this point you would think about making like a normal S. So here's your S and then coming back through. And then you would add your shade whichever side looks like it needs to be balanced out. Okay, so the difference between this one and this one is that here we're seeing these lines that go through this gap part. So this takes a lot of practice to do and to make it look even. You'll also, if you do decide to do it this way, you will have to make one loop bigger and one loop smaller, because then when you add the shade, it'll help even it out. So at first this loop was wide, but then the shade came on the inside, which made the space in here smaller. And then this loop was smaller because we were adding the shade on the outside. So then these kind of end up being similar size. They're still not exact, but you get the idea. Compared to the S, T is simple. So for the first one, we just come down with our main stem, long rectangular shape along the slant line, and then just simply cross it at the top. It's a pretty basic way to make the T. To change it up a little bit, you could again make a stem, but this time cross it with a wavy line. So we saw wavy lines like this on some other letters, like the capital E and F. And then our last version is going to have this elongated S-curve shape that we've seen in several of the letters, and this one should have been a little wider. I like to add a teardrop on the end. And then to cross it, it's going to end up being a wavy line, but we're going to start at this point right here, come down and make an oval, and then transition to a wavy line. So we'll start here next to the stem on the left, make kind of an oval shape, and then at this point transitioning into a wavy line. So the top is just a wavy line, and here is like an oval shape. Add a little bit to the downstroke. Lastly, the letter U. The first version is just going to be a large underturn shape, and this one you could extend all the way back up to the header line, but I'm going to make this exact shape again next to it to turn it into a U. So our lowercase u is pretty much the same thing. For the lowercase u, we start with an entrance stroke and then have two underturns next to each other. The only difference is that these start at the ascender. And then the shade is the same as our underturns. Like that. For version 2, we're going to start the same way. But then our second underturn, we're just going to start it a little bit lower. And then we're also going to add a little entry element, similar to what we did on the first R. Then add some shading. Now the last version is going to actually start similar to this part of the T, which seems kind of confusing, but basically we're going to start and make this same oval shape, but instead of making a wavy line, then we're going to transition into making an underturn. So again, starting with this oval shape, and then now transitioning into that tall underturn. And then another one next to it that starts a little bit below the ascender. So add some shading here. Now this shape actually ends up kind of being a compound curve because we're going over, down, up. So here you can shade it on either side, whichever side looks like it needs some balance. And lastly, we have that shade. So some of these letters were more simple than others. The S was kind of tricky. We saw some similarities between letters we've already done, like the O's and the Q's were pretty similar, same with the P and the R.